We need to talk about the song that changed modern metal forever. Linkin Park, One Step Closer. Now, Linkin Park, of course, is a band that everyone has heard, everyone knows. I don't care if you listen to the heaviest of, in some capacity, you've listened to Linkin Park. And something off of Hybrid Theory, most likely One Step Closer. It is a massively influential track, and it's a track that to this day goes so goddamn hard, every aspect of it. And again, this was a song made in 2000, probably made, I guess, year before, but coming out in 2000 off of their hit record Hybrid Theory, and has generated over 1 billion streams. Guys, they're screaming in the song with a pseudo breakdown, riff down, that was played everywhere, and has over 1 billion streams. What the fuck? This is the 2000s, the good old times. I'm sure a lot of y'all remember Dickie Shorts, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It was a crazy time. MTV actually had music. But there was such a good moment where it seemed like rock/metal, hip-hop, all this stuff became so mainstream and embedded in the culture, where even like Linkin Park was considered almost this edgy music just for any normal human. If you listen to Linkin Park, you're like, oh yeah, of course, because they fucking skate or something. You'd pick up any game, and this is the age where they would have some sort of new metal song in the soundtrack, and it was so important to basically the entire generation that grew up during the late 90s and 2000s, including me. Just getting into this song, you start with a massive riff. So funny because it's such a simple riff. That's definitely one of those, like, you're in the practice space with your drummer homie and like everyone's setting up and you're kind of just like AFK, like it just goes. You don't even notice it. And it's so funny because this riff is the entire foundation of basically everything. Whether it's the intro, it plays a little subtle naked version, whether it's the main pop here. You got that drums grooving. You also have this really loud synth. Which, again, during this time too, like production, synth layers, all that shit wasn't really embedded in anything to do with guitars. But like, it really wasn't popularized to mix these things, especially in a song that had screaming. Chester, an absolute legend. And you still hear the riff doesn't stop. This is one of the special songs where you don't notice that the riff happens basically the entire time, and you don't even know. You don't get sick of it. You just go, oh, sick. It just paces the entire thing. It's the foundation. Then you just build. Then a little pre-chorus, down. I don't know why I turned into Fred Durst. This is not Limp Bizkit. We can check that out another time. Don't worry. You comment with the next song you want to see us check out. But it just, this again, just even the groove, which is so funny. You've heard this groove, dun 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 dun, whole time. Now the chorus, guitar-wise, changes, right? You're not just doing the exact same riff again, but it's still the same accents. It's still the exact same groove. And then the drums just keep you riffing, brother. And the backup vocals going back right into that main riff again, so subtly, no one notices. The energy is contained, and that's the beauty of actually understanding some of these classic songs, is how they're so simply written, but they're executed so well that they say so much with so little, right? And then you hear that in the background, probably like, like just the most. Where is it? I tried to find like just some kind of solo version of that. I don't know if this is the actual thing for the, but like you hear that, and it is probably like the most annoying synth if you were to solo it ever. But just to go into homie's mind, going to Mike's mind and just be like, at that time, homie was riffing, listening to this and just was like, yo, that fucks. You hear it in the song. You put that at the right volume. I'm just smashing my keyboard here. And it just adds this layer and atmosphere, which is awesome because, again, you look into modern metal, which is the entire premise of why I'm even doing this video, is to talk about, hey, how these songs really shape the modern sphere of a lot of modern music, whether you like it or not. Like, there wasn't a lot of production, and the fact that there's this synth layer that's so blaringly loud, but you don't hear it unless you solo it or unless you really look for it. Now I'm gonna hear this for the rest of my life. It's something that has influenced modern metal so much, to the point where, like, every guitar has like 70 synth layers. There's at least 10 different tracks just for pad production. Like, it's insane that basically modern metal, for a lot of the subgenres of metal, not all of them, has become so production focused, and this song had such a huge, massive impact in doing so. And this came out in 2000, dude. What? Wish I could find a way to get some listening. Structured, again, so chill. The song is only around 2.5 minutes long, and it does so much in such little time. Well, basically just non-stop repeating, but it keeps this pace with just, again, the same fucking riff. And then just changing the pre-chorus right back into the chorus. These massive, powerful vocals. And combining hip hop with Chester, also just massive voice. I'm not going to attempt to scream like Chester. I can't. Go ahead, I don't know, my boy Andy or something for that. And then not to mention, of course, just Chester in general being a vocalist that has inspired, I think, probably 99% of any vocalist, heavy, harsh, screaming, insano vocalist I've ever talked to. Yeah, that dude's got some of the most power ever. And it's insane that he was doing what he was doing back in 2000s. But where he really showcases it in this next part, the bridge. Oh my God, the pop, dude. Right here. They go back into the intro riff. And you got this sick pad, which is this massive pad that brings all of this energy. And then you got a breakbeat coming into something that you got to give some credit, especially for a song over 1 billion streams. Dude, they go into a riff down. A riff down that's played on radio that changes the entire game, right? There's kids who listen to this first time and they're like 7, they're like, what the f is this? I mean, we got some chugs and we got some zeros and ones, like, and it's just Chester screaming, shut up. Shut up. This is 25 years old and it still has that bang, that punch. It doesn't matter how much dun dun dun. I will always get hyped listening to this. And right after, I love how there's so much energy contained that it can go right into this chorus. And the energy don't stop. The party's not stopping. It keep on going. Like it just, and just right here, break. Dude, this is such a legendary track. It packs so much in such little time, 2.5 minutes. And it has so much replayability. Instantly you want to go back. Instantly you want to replay this. That's insane. And there were so many kids growing up during that time, including me, that would listen to this. It would be their gateway. It would introduce them to little elements of hip hop. It would introduce them to genre fusion in general, where it's nowadays basically that is the epitome of modern metal. And the fact that they were doing this all the way back here, 2000s, adding hip hop, adding these massive synths, and then screaming, but singing and pitch screaming and hard riff downs, but also massive choruses that you could hear on radio that could basically just be a top 50 song because it's organized in a 2.5 minute repeatable banger. And the fact that you can put this song next to the modern titans of a Bring Me, of an Architects, put this in a playlist, and let's say someone's never heard Linkin Park, okay, sure. This would come up next and you'd still be like, oh, that was cool. You wouldn't even notice that the song's 25 fucking years old, man. That's insane. Did Linkin Park One Step Closer change the game for modern metal, set in a completely different direction that made all the bands what they are today? What song do you think changed modern metal? Comment below. Let me know in very loud letters. All caps. Not always, but sometimes. Bye.